Today we have with us an electronic dolly. This is the version 2 of L4 dolly, that is the version with the remote, which sells under the names of Yelangu and Andoer. Let's see what's inside the package. So overall we have the dolly, a screw, a L key, a spare rubber for the wheel, a remote, battery and a micro USB cable in the package. Only the front wheel of the dolly is motorized one. We can set any angle at the back wheels to move it in a circular or a straight fashion. Before the first use, I will fully charge the dolly with the micro USB cable and get back in a second. Let's connect the dolly to the camera. The screw that came with it has a 1/4 inch to connect to the camera at one end. Let's screw it in the camera. And the other end is 3/8, a little bigger screw to connect with the dolly. It takes some effort to mount a all-metal heavy dolly to a somewhat heavy camera using a 2-in-1 transform screw. But after a struggle, we were able to screw it on. Let's now turn it on. Slide the power on button on the dolly and let's use the remote to control it. For some reason, the remote was not working. It turns out that the remote continues to consume power even when left unused. So when not in use, it is best to take out the battery or it will drain it all. Finally, after replacing the battery, I was able to use the remote. There are 3 buttons on the remote. The big one is for starting and stopping it, the left one is for the direction and the right one is for the speed. As for the speed control, there are 3 different speeds: 1.5 cm per second, 2 cm per second and 2.5 cm per second. However, either the speed control on my device is broken or the variation in speed is so subtle that it is not observable from the naked eye. The dolly works smoothly over the tabletop. However, as you may notice, the height of the camera is a little low. So unless you are shooting something only a few inches tall, you may want to elevate the camera a little. To elevate the height of the camera a little, I tried inserting a monopod, an articulating arm and a Z mount between the dolly and the camera. However, in all the 3 cases, the center of gravity was off. So if you love your camera and your lens, do not do that. Instead, I found something to serve as a platform for the dolly. Let's now try to move it in a semicircular fashion around the basket like this. To do so, we need the L key that came with it to loosen up the nuts so as to set the appropriate angle. Let's see if it is jerky when it reverses. It wasn't jerky at all. In my opinion, it handled it very well. Is it noisy? Probably a little if you plan on using the inbuilt camera microphone. However, the motors are subtle enough to suppress in case you are using an external microphone. As far as comparing it to a manual dolly is concerned, I would not say that the electronic dolly is at an advantage. The manual dolly has more control over its speed and angles. Both the front and the back wheels can be configured precisely to any angle. It also glides very smoothly and may move very fast or very slow or at a variable speed depending on the shot. It is also more robust and can carry more weight than the electronic one. Electronic dolly is good for scenarios when you do not need so much of manual control, or when the shot needs a perfectly uniform motion throughout, or when there are long continuous movements involved, like that of a hyperlapse. Though the speed of the dolly may be a little more for linear hyperlapses, however interesting footages may come out of it if left in a circular loop. As the dolly uses a remote controlled IR blaster, programmable IR blasters, like mobile phones, may be programmed to start and stop the dolly after a certain period of time. Though it may not be a novice-friendly solution, however, when this setup is used in conjunction with Magic Lantern, interesting linear hyperlapses may also be shot on this. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to create an Android app for this. If summarized, for the price, the electronic dolly is certainly a must to have in the kit. I will leave a link to the same in the description below.